What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome. This is the Bi Friend Podcast. I am Charles Rome, and here you have a bi friend because everybody needs a bi friend. So, this whole podcast is for me to talk about, to understand, and to learn about being bisexual and black in the world today, because it is something that I am going to have to get used to, and I'm ready to do it. So let's start the show. Again, welcome to the Bi Friend Podcast. So if this is your first episode, I talk about my experiences and what I've learned so far in life. Life is so wild. It's only getting wilder. It's not getting any easier. But guess what? You gotta move forward. Don't look back, baby, because there's nothing there. All right, so this episode, I am going to talk about the blend and the separation of masculinity and femininity. Because as a bisexual, we like more than one. That's how I'll put it. I like that. We like more than one. Male, female, trans, all of it. I'm not going to keep listing it, but you get the idea. And I'm going to talk about how I feel about masculinity and femininity. You see, the cool thing about this is it's a freedom to love and explore and just share with someone else. Because you got to find somebody in life. Somebody. You got to be happy. You can't just be, putzing around all alone. So you got to find there's someone out there for you. And old Charles is still looking. But the freedom is there. It's a wild thing to say and to even think about that. Think about it. You like this and you like that, and you can potentially flip-flop back and forth and do this, that, and the other. And it scares people. It really does. And since I sit in the middle of things, I'm not straight, but I'm not gay. I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And for me personally, I know I've talked about being invisible as a bisexual person. Yes, that is very true because people think you're lying. People think you're confused. People think, oh, it's a phase. We've talked about this before. And for me, I am on the masculine side. If you saw me, I've said this before, if you saw me out, you'd be like, oh, he wants to go play some football or some kind of rough contact sport, cracking skulls. And I'm down for that. And I'm down and take a couple days, have a spa day. Treat yourself. I'm down for that. I can get a little sassy when I have to. But me being on the masculine side really throws people off. The friends that I've already told, some I thought it was just hilarious how they looked at me. And I told you, one of my friends, she was like, oh my God, are you dying? And then I went back and I replayed how I said that to her. And I was like, damn, it does sound like I'm dying. But inside, I am. And not in a bad way, in like a phoenix type way. Like I'm reborn. The bullshit is gone. It's stripped away. The shit that doesn't matter. And now I'm left standing here, smoldering, ready for the new adventure. So, like I said, male and female, and there's things that I like from both. Now, I really don't like super masculine energy. And I know I've said this before, but it's not my thing. I like that feminine energy. And even if it is in a male, I enjoy the feminine energy that they'll bring. Uh, I've said this before. I don't like a lot of body hair on a male. That's not. Oh no. Oh, now that's gay. A little bit's all right, whatever. It is what it is. Sometimes if the energy and the vibe is right, hey, you just play it by ear. But so far, I have personally learned I don't like that super masculine energy. There's not going to be a point where someone's going to be playing football and then we'll be like, hey, you want to go make out somewhere? And no. No. But guess what? That shit happens like that. It's wild. Listen, I'm in a whole nother dimension. Shit is crazy out here. People are nasty. So if I really had to, pinpoint something, it would be more feminine, masculine, and more on the feminine side. More trans, femboys, girly guys. That kind of thing. Maybe get a few spoken S's in there, and I'm in. Hey, silly. Ooh. And as a side note, I'm really happy that I'm opening up on this podcast. If you go back to the first episode, nervous. Charles was nervous as hell. But now we're moving and grooving, and I don't care. I don't care. All right, let's get back into it. Now, the feminine energy is what I love. I enjoy that. My women, big, small, whatever, thick. I love me some thighs. My goodness. That's where you fall asleep. That's where I want to be watching a movie, on some thick thighs. I heard they save lives. So if I'm having any type of medical emergency, get one of them thick thigh chicks that come on over and squeeze my head like a fucking watermelon. I tell you what, Charles, you better calm down. And that's just the thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I like both. You get let's go back to the masculine energy. Let's say you have a skinny male that likes to dress up. Guess what? I'm down for that. Now, here's where, everybody has their preferences. If you're starting to look like a female, I'm cool. But if it's, a lumberjack and a wig and a dress, that does nothing for me. Sorry. It just does nothing for me. But if you look like you couldn't even get on a football field, like you're the size of the kicker, like don't even touch the field because you will get exploded. I like that. They're like, hey, we're just going to be over here cheering for you, Big Daddy. Cheer on, you little fucking... Ugh. And that's what it's always been for me. I love females. I love the more feminine males. And that's it. That's how it's been. It hasn't really changed. I mean, it's deviated a little bit here and there over the years, but for the most part, it's been the same thing. And a crazy thing is the femmes get shit on constantly. You know why? Because they probably can't fight. But guess what? I fucking will. I will cuss somebody out. Any family member. Just leave me alone. Just let me live my life. I'll let you do your thing, and we will not have any problems. You know, I look at life like this. You leave me alone, and guess what? I will damn sure leave you alone. Like, I don't want to be bothered with people in the first place. So I'm not going to go out of my way to be a fucking monster to somebody. That's not my style. But if you want to go out of your way and do the same to me, then guess what? I'm going to say some stuff that will make you think about it for the next week. You'll be taking a shower and be like, damn, he really said that to me? How he say that about my grandmother? Be laying in bed trying to sleep, tossing and turning. Damn, he said he hoped my dog got... Maybe if you left people alone, people wouldn't think of the wildest and most hurtful shit to say. So people always talk about splits. And so, no, it's not 50-50 for me. I don't know what it is. Just imagine you got a big circle, and then you got a pink circle inside, and then a blue circle inside. And every once in a while, they'll overlap and become purple, just like the bi flag, pink, purple, blue. And it just moves around. Okay, you remember the old DVD screensaver where it would just say DVD and it would bounce all around the screen. And people would wait for it to bounce to the corner. Boop. It's like a shitty game of Pong. Boop, boop, boop. And it's just bouncing back and forth. That's kind of how this is. You know, but you got two circles and maybe they overlap a little bit here. They overlap a little bit there. But it's just not a split right down the middle. That would mean everything. And Charles don't like everything. Like I said, for me, two beards do nothing. I don't want to see that shit. No, I'm kidding. I don't care. But it's not for me. Right? Everybody's got their thing. I also like feet. People think I'm crazy. They're like, you like feet? Yes. Yes. Some, not all. Some of these people's feet are just busted. Their feet are, they're jagged. They're angry. They're dry. You know, you want something nice, something suckable. I don't know. Listen, everybody, I think everybody should try a toe every once in a while. Just try. If you never have, but you got to do it at a specific time. Usually the best time for any type of foot fun is after the shower. You get out of the shower, don't touch the ground. I'll carry you to the bed. Let me nibble on them toes. Let me nibble. All right, let me get back into this before I go completely off the rails again. It happens. It happens. And something I've heard a lot of people say is they can't be themselves around people. For me, personally, that's yes and no, because I never tried to be anybody different. I'm me. I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. And it changes over the years through life. And with my friends and family, again, I never had to try to be someone else because I'm not. I'm me. What I like has no direct effect on your daily life. And now that I have talked to a good portion of friends that I wanted to talk to, everything that people bitch and complain about carries no weight. Like, you're worried about what color a person is, who they want to hold hands with, anything, like who they want to do anything with. It has nothing to do with you. And in turn, it does nothing for your life to respond negatively, because being positive about it will strengthen your friendship. But just the negativity is still there. And people don't even understand. They have gay and bisexual friends that haven't even talked to them because they are scared, still confused, anything off the list. That could be the reason why they haven't said anything. And scared is a big one, because you don't know if you're going to lose one of your best friends, a family member, what? You don't know who is going to take it the wrong way. Hey, I just wanted to tell you I'm living my life and this is what I'm doing. Well, fuck you. I don't approve of it. My family has never done something like that. They've been very supportive of me, even when I was younger. And my grandmother told me she did not care who I was with. She cared that I was happy who I was with. And if I'm happy, she's happy. And my mother has said the same thing. And I never talked to them at the same time about this. My grandmother was gone when I talked to my mother. So it wasn't like they had I mean, they may have had a conversation about this, but I never talked to them in the same, even, 10 years. It was a 10-year difference. It wasn't, but they both said, love who you love. And my mom still says it. She's like, I don't care what you do. Just don't do something stupid. I'm not bailing you out of jail. And whoever your partner may be, I want you to be happy. That's the kind of people you need in your corner. And those are the type of people that I do have in my corner. And I hope I continue to have them in my corner. Because those quick words of positivity and strength can really, 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 really get you through the day and through life. And since I do like a little more than the next person, it also depends on your attitude and how you act. Beautiful people can be ugly. That a person who is just drop dead gorgeous, but they are a piece of shit because they know they look good. I don't want to deal with someone like that. I want someone that is, just humble and trying to live and survive life. Everybody needs friends. Everybody needs family to get through this life. You do, or you're going to be lost. Trust me, if life had been different, everything had told me, and everything that I had seen years ago, my immediate family, most of them are gone. I've got 2 immediates left. But if life had taken the turns that it did years ago, I would only have one, my sister. I'm glad that family has been good to me. It helps, because I've heard a lot of people say family has given up on them or just completely abandoned them, and that does not help. That puts you in horrible headspace, and then you do something dumb or rash. So thank you to all the friends and family who have been very, very supportive. Had to get in my feels for a second. And hey, listen, friends, my close friends, I don't like you like that. I don't like any of my close friends like that, so don't worry. Um, that's something you got to think about. Oh, are they not going to talk to me because they think I like them? Like, don't flatter yourself, okay? You're not what I want. But no, friends are on a different level, and I don't look at them like that. So don't fucking worry about that. Just throwing that out there. But all jokes aside, I really hope that I can find someone someday who is understanding of what's going on in my life and how I do want them in my life, even though I like a lot of different things. I can focus in and dial in on whoever I'm with. That's not the problem. So hopefully it all works out. I stress over this quite a bit because, you try and do something right and something that is good in a way. You're getting your feelings out there. I'm not doing it in a negative way. I'm not harming anybody. I'm just sitting here talking about things. One of my biggest fears was that someone was going to take this and try and weaponize it. But then I thought about it. I'm like, it is what it is, man. This is who I am. It's not going to change. Just because you're a little upset about it doesn't mean it's going to change. So that's something I had to come to terms with. Hey, whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. I have no control over it just as much as you don't have any control over who I like. You see? See how that happens? But yeah, I'm happy to be moving and grooving with this. It's episode 9. I have gotten pretty far with this. And I thank you for joining me because this is fun. But again, I hope I can, find someone that understands me being me and we can just enjoy the time. All about good vibes, right? That's what I'm looking for. And you know what? In the end, if nobody else wants to be my friend or anything like that, I can't do anything but be who I am and like who I like. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else that I can do except live this life and have fun doing so. And that's what is going to happen. And I think I'm going to cut on out. This was a good episode. Learning a little more every time you listen. Next week's episode is going to be called Porn and Weird Stuff. So that's going to be a wild episode. So get ready. And then we'll be completed at episode 22, and then the sky's the limit. But for now, check me out on Facebook, on Instagram, and wherever you podcast. Let them know. All right, you be safe, have fun. I'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.